Hey guys! Yes, man! Stop playing with me. I'm sorry, y'all, but I had to take care of some business. I was running a little late, but welcome to the From the Battle to the Glory. How everybody's doing? I hope everybody had a good day at work. Hope you have a lot of energy. I know you probably don't have a lot of energy like I do, but I gotta bring it up. Gotta pick it up. Get your tea, get your coffee. Listen, man, we about to have something real good. But without let's forget that, man. Lady T is in the building, y'all. She is here today. We missed her yesterday. Rodney filled in for her. He was holding it down.
Yeah.
Said, I'll hold it down for you, Lady T. He surely did, boy. You know, he was coming for me, man. But that's my boy.
Yeah.
Beast One, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's what when you got good friends, when you got you're around company of good people, good positive energy, that's what they do. They keep a smile on your face, they keep you uplifted, and definitely we were all praying for you, and we missed you yesterday. So, glad to have you back. But other than that, yeah, I listen. You told me I'm not even gonna say it, but I've been thinking about that all week. About the job thing. About the job thing. I'm not going. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
What you told me?
Oh yeah. So I'm actually so glad to be here. I put some earrings on today. I was like, I'm gonna do a little something different. Put some earrings on because I feel so much better. I had a stomach bug, and that stomach bug thing, whoo, Lord have mercy, it was real. It was so real. And it got me down. I was down for the count. I mean, I called out sick on Monday. It was that bad because I don't really call out. So it was terrible. So yeah, I'm so glad to be back and have a conversation. Life is all about transitions right now. There's so much to talk about, so much to tell. But then, of course, you have to respect privacy and others, and then you can only tell but so much. And here we are. I am in the midst of transition in life, and I think that everybody is going to have a time in their life where they will have a growth, where they are pushed into a growth aspect. And I'm going through it. The emotions are there. I feel like the whole sickness was my purge. I felt like it was a purge. I really do. It's something about the way that purge, and it just took me out. And to see a transition after coming out of that sickness is a big thing. I can't say too much here, but there's so much to tell. There's so much to tell. There's so much to tell. But you know what? I'm honestly grateful. I have had to put music in my ear to hear good talk. I will give it up to one person that I have a lot of respect for. I probably said this before. Dr. Joe Dispenza. I have a lot of respect for him. He knows what he's talking about. I don't know much about his history. I know he's a doctor. I know he's dealt with a lot of people. He has a lot of knowledge, and he gives me something that I need at the time. And I think there was a series. It actually has a series on women, and I was really impressed by it. I have to be honest. And to hear music that touches my heart, that gets me into the spirit, is something that has been helping me. The transition time is here. I have said this, we are in a time of so many changes, and this is the time 2025 was the time that I said it was going to be big changes last year. And you know why? Because of what I have in my corner and what I look up to the skies and say, right? So it was all written in the skies. We are all playing a role. Everybody is playing a role, and we are emotional people and emotional characters. And I am trying to not be too emotional in the stress of life, because it is stress. It is stress. And it is trying to bring us down. And so coming into the spirit of oneness of myself with God within me is a beautiful thing. And I really need that again. I haven't been able to have it because of the purging time. So I'm so grateful to be here. This is good to have a conversation with you. It's always good to talk to you. I feel like me and you are talking right now, and it's just us, but I know others are going to see it. But it's just me and you. And I still have to be mindful, but I'm just glad that you and I are having a conversation, and we can continue to have our conversations. I have conversations with many people and it helps me. It's my therapy. And I know I'm a people person. I've accepted that. Ugh.
Yes. Come on down to the lovely lane of people.
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because you got to love on them no matter
Mhm.
what, even in the
Mhm.
midst of their attitude, even in the midst of their grief, even in the midst of their complaining. You still got to love them, right? That's the hard part, man. I'd be like, man, listen, I ain't trying to do all that. But God said, yeah, you got to. Hey, look, you wanted this, right? That's what you got to do. You got to love them. You got to love on them. You got to hug
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
They always joke with me, but listen, that hey, some people gonna want it, some people not. That's the life that we live. That's the world we live in, shall I say?
Mhm.
But listen, oh man, this topic right here, man, I hope somebody learns, get something, absorb it. When you make a mistake, you have a pivotal choice. Will it be your coffin or will it be your classroom? T, I know you probably was looking at this like, what does he talk about? Your coffin? What do you when you see that? What do you think about? What's the first thing? Now that's deep. Now this is real deep because I listen. I didn't. This is not even my own idea. I piggybacked off somebody else's, and I saw that and I was like, ooh. I was listening to them. That's deep. And so I said, let me have a session almost similar to that because sometimes we look at other podcasts, other shows, and we take bits and pieces of it and we try to add it and make it our own. And I said I'm definitely going to piggyback off that. And so yes, it's a pivotal choice. And said, is it going to be your coffin or your classroom? And T, so what do you think about? How will you elaborate on that, Lady T?
I kind of look at it like, okay, it could possibly be both. The reason why I say that is because, we have to become dead to whatever it is that is hindering us. Die that, let that, whatever part of us needs to die. A coffin, right? You have to let it die. There's something we have to let die and then also give birth to. And so when I see classroom, I'm like, okay, so classroom could be looked at as a rebirth, you know, a resurrection, something. I'm looking at it on a spiritual level. Okay, so I say coffin because sometimes, yeah, you will have both of it where you're going to die. Something about you has to die to let go, to surrender, to no longer say, I will do this and it is a hindrance or holding me. It's taking back from my ability because I'm stagnant in it. So there's a coffin. You're going to have something that's going to put you into a coffin to say, I want to die of that, because there's things that we need to grow in the classroom. Okay, that's number one. That's why I say could be both. Now the classroom part is where you are actually learning the journey of life. You are learning your mistakes. You are letting go of the things that you can no longer do, because we all have something about us that we need to change and become better at. So that's the dying. We all have our cross to bear. So when you are having your cross to bear, you are dying daily to something that you have personally, that is your vice, that is your thing that you need to work on. So the journey is your classroom. So, but that's just paying attention. Are you able to have that inner thought, that inner desire? Everybody has to want it for themselves. I can't do this life for you. You can't do this life for me. Nobody can tell you how to live. It's always going to be you. It's always going to be that person. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. But so just to reiterate something, Lady T, dying doesn't mean that you have to be in a coffin. Because when you get in a coffin, you're not getting out. There, you can't get out that coffin. So there is no learning in being in a coffin. Because when you're in that coffin, that's it. You're not getting out. And so that's why I said pivotal choice, because you got to think about it. Yes, we have this saying that we say we have to die to the flesh, right? That's why we say die, and die does not mean you go back to that. And so that's the reason why we say die to the flesh, because guess what? You can't. go back to it. But when you look at a classroom, it's always a learning process. You may fail a test, and then when you fail the test, guess what? Now you go, you say, you know what? I'm gonna ace this test next time, because now you know what you did wrong in that test, in those obstacles in your life. You know, you can always, that's the classroom. You can always learn. It's always room for growth. It's always room for you to learn, and not only learn, but learn from, those mistakes that you made, in life, in the classroom. That's why you said the classroom. And I didn't say anything. I didn't say town hall or anything else. Church. It's the classroom, because when you look at classroom, you look at learning. It's about learning. And then, some in the classroom, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be perfect there. You're not going to ace all your tests. Something's going to happen there. You're going to, whether it's a conversation with people in your classroom, you always going to learn. So it's always room for growth in the classroom. But in that coffin, ain't no getting up. That's it. And the reason why I say it's pivotal is it's a pivotal choice, because guess what? Our decisions in life, we choose those decisions. We choose those relationships. We choose, the job that we want. That we want. You know what I'm saying? Not the job that's made out for us. We choose. So we might want this job because it pays a lot of money. But guess what? Is that the real job that's for you? Because there is a job that's made out for you in every aspect of life, whether it's spiritual, natural. It's a job that you have made out for, just for Lady T, just for Chef Dennis. It's already made. I'm in mines, and I wasn't in it before. I was doing different type of jobs, but I'm in a job. I'm in a field that I have passion for. I love, but not only do I love it, but guess what? When I do it, it brings joy to me, not only me, but other people. Because when they're eating the food, they say, "Oh my goodness, it's so good," and so it's something, that's real, that I love. I have a passion for it. Some people have jobs like nurses, doctors. They have a passion for it, helping people and healing them, and they're in their calling. Not only in their calling, but they're in something that they enjoy doing. It's a difference when you in a job that you really love and you have a passion for it. It's a different dynamic. It's a different dynamic. And I know most people can agree to that. It's not even about a disagreeing, it's agreeance, because when you in a field that you love and you're doing great in it, it's easy. You're gonna have obstacles, you're gonna have things you're gonna go through, because you're dealing with people on different levels, different faiths and beliefs. What do you want?
How did you get to the job thing? I'm just like, I got lost in it. So I was like, how do we get to the job thing? But I hear you. But look, you're saying coffin, and I don't understand why we talk like that, because let me just say it like this. Okay. If you did, you did.
Right.
How you gonna know? So when we talk about a coffin, we're talking about something that has to be removed from your life, like in a way for people to understand what we're talking about. Because you did. If you're talking about coffin, you died, you're gone. Then who we talking to? We talking to the living then? I mean, because the living, basically, are we putting fear in them to say, well, if you're gonna die? I mean, what are we saying? When I'm listening to you, I was trying to pay attention and understand, and that is why I had these questions.
Ju-
So, okay,
just think about this.
mhm,
See, you have a choice
okay,
to you have the ability to learn, or you have the ability to not do the things that you're supposed to do, and you'll end up in the coffin. So your
that
choice, you choosing. Listen. If the doctor tell you, I'll give you an example, so you understand me more clearly. If the doctor tell you, listen, Lady T, you can't drink anymore, right? But you still choose to drink.
right.
The choice that you made is you. So basically, you say, you know what, I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and guess what? There's a coffin wait for you before your time. before your time. It's a
That's
coffin.
the thing. That's the thing. You say before your time. That's the thing. We never know when our time is going to end.
I mean,
So,
that's true.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
we cannot really put too much emphasis on the death timing and how it happens and why it happened to people, because that's not for us to know. We were never supposed to know. It was meant to be the way it was supposed to be, and we get mad at that. We act as if we were supposed to do something and we were supposed to react a certain way because it was going to change our circumstances. We don't know that. We don't know nothing. So
That
that's why I'm saying when we die, that's it. It was supposed to be the way it was supposed to be because that's the way God said it. So that's why I leave it there. But when I'm talking about this coffin thing, I'm looking at it like a flesh thing that we need to change in order to be better, to do better, to have better, to get better in whatever it is in life. That's
it,
what
it,
I'm saying. Because
it-
that's why I asked you about who you talking to, because when
it's
you
a meta.
die, it's over.
So you, I think you're looking at it like uh, too literally. It's a metaphor. Uh,
Oh, I'm
okay.
looking at it too literally.
No, I'm not. No, don't take it like that. I'm saying like no, because when I say coffin, you in there. So you in your mess, you can't get out. And so look at it from that perspective. You're in your mess. Guess what?
Right.
You're not trying to learn. You're not trying. So you staying in there. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in a coffin, so the metaphor is when you in that coffin, you're there. You're not, there's no getting out of it. So now you have a choice to make. Am I going to learn in the stuff that I'm in, or am I going to stay in it and just be stuck there?
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
understand.
So
I
so
do.
now you stuck. You're stuck in a place where you can't get out. You're not going to get out. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the
But I
metaphor in the
disagree with
coffin.
you when you say you can't get out, you won't get out.
You
That's
can't.
why I believe that we die daily to our own sins. Okay, that's what I'm saying. When I said it, I mentioned it. I said I'm speaking spiritually. We are dying daily. We all die daily because we have something about us that we need to let go and die because we need to grow from or learn to grow at and become and to do better. It's kind of like, if I was a smoker, right? And I'm trying not to smoke cigarettes anymore, I would have to always be diligent to know that you basically cannot do the things that you used to do and you enjoyed. So my mindset would have to change. I would have to die something, which is the desire, die the temptation. There would be so many things I would have to let die because of that one thing. You get what I'm saying? So everybody has something. And so we die daily. We are in the coffin all the time, is what
No,
I'm
we
saying.
not. No, no.
Okay, I know you think we're all, heaven on earth, and we're walking among, angels and only angels, but we are all people that, we do things in life, and we don't mean to be hateful. We don't mean to be, in fear. We don't mean to, put our people out there and hurt one another, but we do it. And then we have to say, I'm sorry. And then we have to change our ways and not try and do it again. We do this all the time. So I mean, I know what you're saying. I do understand you, but I feel like life is all about getting in that coffin. You gotta, honestly, I feel like if you learn to get into your own coffin and just snuggle up a little bit, just be like, just hear me out, hear me. I know, I know, I know. So snuggle up a little bit, just be like, this is coffin feel. This right here is what death could look like. This is what it feels like because I'm dying of something that I want to grow. And look at it like this: coffin is in the soil, and we put seed in the soil. You got to let that seed ferment into the soil and let God do what it's going to do to that seed. So, getting in that coffin is snuggling in there a little bit. It does help the bones, it helps the blood. I believe that. But it's all how you make it. I'm saying it for me. I'm not saying I'm going to be a sinner. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I am going to trust and surrender, because when you get into the soil of life of God, it's like, God is going to be in control and be able to make you grow to who you are supposed to be. And that's what we're supposed to do daily, and then surrender is the time right now. I feel like that is my message in life has been all about surrender, surrender, surrender. trust, 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 trust. Yes.
Yeah.
And I am. But it's like I have to continuously tell myself, hear things, talk to myself, because there's no one else to do it but me. There's no one else that's going to feed me the right information but me. So I have to want that desire. And I do. And I do. But whatever it may be, I'm going to still trust that it's going to be perfectly planned the way it was supposed to be. So it's about getting out of fear. But that's the thing with this transition in life that we're going through. Fear is so profound and it's very sad. It's very sad. It makes my heart cry. I get teary eyed because when I see fear and how it affects the body and how it affects the mind and what it does to me as myself, and me just talking to you and having this conversation, I feel like I I am seeing fear in a different way, and now having to verbally have a conversation about it is very difficult because I don't talk. You and I, I don't talk. You got me out to have a conversation with you, and here we are doing this, and I'm not a talker. So, being around people that are afraid all the time, what do you do? How do you speak? How do you react? All you can do is love. And you don't even know how to love sometimes. And that's where life is for me right now. I am learning how to love through all the chaos. You know what I'm saying? And it's very difficult. So I'm getting in the coffin because guess what? I have to, because I've been a mean person in the past. I have been a silent person, and now I have to have a voice, and I have to put some love out there because so much fear is out there. And I'm sitting up here not wanting my people who I love and I respect, and I want to be a part of their life and see the best for them. I want them to be happy. So I have to learn how to say things that are in the right order, in the right manner. So all that's spirit, and I have to let go of me. And that's hard. That's a daily walk. It is dying daily. This is something I never expected in life.
You all right?
Mm-mm-mm.
You okay?
I'm getting it together. My hair's
Uh,
a mess. I know
no,
it's
no, that's not
no,
like you
I'm
wanted.
good.
Look like you wanted to cry.
Hey, you always try to get me to cry. Please stop.
No, that. Hey,
When I
look.
want to cry, it will happen. But
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm not.
Okay. I just
But
check.
I am
I'm just
speaking
checking.
like, but tears are, they're there because I
I
do
know.
care. I know
That's
you
what
want
I'm
me to cry. You want me to cry.
saying.
You want to see
Yeah.
it.
No,
I
I don't
know.
want you to cry, T.
No, I think you do because you just
No,
asked me that
I
question.
look. I'm just being. Look. I just see it. I feel it. Like
Yeah,
I'm serious. It's
I
like I'm
know.
just serious. It's like
Hmm.
look, like you said, it's a transitional thing right
Yeah.
now. And things are supposed to happen. And boy, I tell you, but I gotta zip my lip a little bit because I want to say something, but I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, I know. Because it's the blessing, and it's that's what it truly is. It's the blessing. But no, I want you to say, look, she went in. It had it to release. And look, lady, Reddy said she went in. It had to release. It had to
Mm.
release. And
Yeah.
then he said to you earlier, he said you was talking. He said, teach, teacher. I got you. Oh man, I had to put
Um,
that comment up for you because you was talking, you was going in. But no, look, but it's just because you said no, you don't get no snow. Don't that mentality of getting into the coffin. You ain't getting no no, because guess what? If you in the coffin, you ain't- listen. Who? Just think about. Just think about the coffin. What does it mean? What is the word itself mean? What is the things that reflect about coffin versus classroom? Look at those. Look at the two. There are things that surrounds coffin. There's things that surround classroom. You know what I'm saying? You think about coffin. Most people think about coffin. They think about death. You know what I'm
right.
saying? They think about but when you think about death, it's dead. Like I said, that's the coffin is a place where you cannot get out. What it has a door. It has a door. Once it's closed and it's sealed, you as the person can't get out of that.
No,
You can't
no.
get out.
So that's how
You
you
know that,
see
right?
it.
No,
Like, wait,
I,
wait. Hear me out. You see it that way, but I have to see life in all aspects of life.
Yeah, you're gonna see
So
life
when
in classroom.
I see life in a coffin too. So I say this a seed. I said it is a seed. I will use that as a way of looking at it as a seed. Get snuggled up in the seed moment and go in the ground and have the death and rebirth. That's
Hold on.
all I'm saying.
What you mean the
That's
ground?
the ground, coffin 6 feet under in the
Oh,
ground, the soil. I'm
oh,
just saying,
oh,
I'm trying to make you understand.
I,
I'm not taking it literally. I'm taking it as a spiritual thing. I truly am. I'm not talking as if it's death and that's it. I look at it as death and rebirth is what I said. I look at it as you get into the ground to die of whatever it is that you need to let die and then come back up. We do this daily. That's what I'm saying. We do it daily. And I just I see it differently than you. I don't
oh,
see
I
it
know
as
you
death.
do.
I know, yeah. So I don't see it as death and it's over, game over. I don't see that. I see it as we're rebooting.
What you gonna reboot in the classroom? Yeah, that's what you do.
Yes, but you will always have times when you might stumble in the coffin again. So
Lord Jesus, somebody help me. She talking about you gonna have time to go in the coffin and come back out. Somebody put something in there. You ain't. Can somebody talk to me? She talking about you gonna have time to get in the coffin and come back out. No,
you
in
know, you
Jesus'
know.
name, you ain't coming out of no coffin unless you dead and then you no.
I know. We see it differently. It's okay. I'm okay with it too.
And then look, this guy's somewhat so I'm thinking one way. What I want? Can you explain to me how you get in the coffin and come back out?
Yeah,
Since I'm
and thank
thinking,
you.
yeah,
He's thinking it one way, and
yeah, I want
I'm
to know.
trying to get him to understand another way of seeing it. So maybe you might understand it as time go on. Just if let it marinate in your mind a little bit. It just need a little bit more time, maybe. That's all.
Lord have mercy. Well,
But honestly, it is a pivotal choice. The decisions that we make can be, some place that we don't want to go into. When we say coffin, we're not saying death because we don't know that time. We're looking at it as, do you want to make a decision for your good or not? If it's going to benefit you and others, is it going to help another person? Honestly, I feel like, you know, talking to people is like having a conversation about themselves, right? You know what I mean? Like, how can I say this? I talk to people all the time and I'm always asking questions about themselves, trying to ask questions to make them see themselves because I don't know the answer. So I ask them questions to make them answer their own, probably something they never thought of type of question, just because they need to see themselves. I don't know them very well. But that's what we need to do is we need to really be self-aware, self-analysis of ourselves and be honest. I mean, if you're going to lie to yourself, okay, keep lying to yourself. And you just really want to live a life that's all, lies and deceit, but it does catch up to you one day. So, I mean, people need to be told things and the truth is learn who you are. Learn who you need to become, or you need to grow in. And some people, it takes a good smack on the head. Unfortunately, it takes a big catastrophe, that's the word, some trauma, unfortunately, and nobody wants that in our lives. But there is really nothing we can do. You know what I'm saying? We are not the creator of this world. We are not the creator of people. So who are we to even judge and sit and say what's going to happen in the next day or two? You know what I mean? So it's like I'm trying to, be calm in my own body and in my own skin as the world is changing and all the people around me are changing. And, it's difficult. It's so difficult. And, me being a single woman, especially, you know how I love being single, but I never ever thought that it would be like this. I never thought it would be like this. It's very different. And the reason why I say that is because I love my life now. Like I've never loved it before. I love my life because I have that spiritual guidance within me. And that every time I hear like those love songs, I'm speaking to the inner Jesus, the inner Christ, the inner love of the holy divine spirit. And because I know that for myself, if people were to get to know themselves and be honest and learn how to just want to be a better person, we could change this world. I believe we would change completely as people. But, we got to go through a lot of destruction. So here we are. And I'm just trying. I'm trying to get my lips right. My lips get in the way. I'll be spitting out words wrong. I'll be saying the wrong words. I'm doing my best, y'all.
Yep. I mean that yesterday's topic. That's what it's about. Birds of the same feather flock together. That's what we was talking about yesterday.
Mhm.
And I mean that's part of life right now. That's just a metaphor, and that's just part of life, and that's why I love that. I love that metaphor because that's what happens. You have to put your life have to be surrounded around people that's going to encourage you, uplift you in the midst of your struggles. You know what I'm saying? The right people. You can't have just anybody. And then you got to be, so that's the thing. This is a big word for this time right now. Vulnerability and accountability. These two words right here is big because guess what? You have to be vulnerable in order for you to grow into certain situations in your life. And but you can't be vulnerable just to anybody. You know what I'm saying? And this is a part of learning. And most people don't understand that. And I think if you have anything that's going on the inside, like some childhood trauma or some relationship issues, listen, you have to find the right circle so you can release all that. That it's trauma. You know what I'm saying? It's trauma to not only to your mind, to your heart. Because guess what? If you don't get that out of there, eventually it's going to overspill in your relationships. Whether it's your coworkers, whether it's your significant other, it affects your ability to love people. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? It's triggers that's in there. As soon as that person hit that trigger, guess what? You might spaz out on that person because you're not really releasing that trauma, releasing that pain, that hurt, the trauma of a lost one. And some people, mourn differently. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of hurt and pain. And because that hurt and pain, you never get it out, you never release it. Guess what? It stays there. It becomes. Some people say it's a memory thing, but it's also memory. Memories are memories of joy, not sorrow. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
Mm.
What?
I mean, I think it's both. I don't
Both?
know
Yeah,
why
I
you.
mean, of course it's both.
Um,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
of course it's both. It's definitely both. You know what I'm saying? We can't tell nobody how to mourn. We can't tell nobody how to feel of losing a loved one. No, but I can tell you this: that God is the comforter, and that's where the hard part comes in. I think that's the most difficult time some people can, because I tell you, a lot of people have lost loved ones and they turned away from God. They was like, "Yo, God, why you take them away?" But didn't understand that, like, okay, no, you had this time with this individual. Now he or she's going to be with me now. It's hard. Some people can't see that. They can't grasp that. I'm gonna keep it real. Some people can't, and you got to respect it. You got to understand it, because that's a difficult time in their life, and that's where you have to have the right people around you. To
Yeah, that's I'm glad you brought that up because I'm like, okay, when you said that, I was like, but see, that's the thing. We're looking for outside stuff. And I always say, go within, go within. The peace of God is within you. So I always feel like within each of us, we must ask. That is the first thing. Everybody talks about commanding. I have heard so many people talk about commanding, but we do not know how to ask. So, first is asking. That is the first step to really knowing the inner because God is not outside of us. We are always saying, God, where you at? God, where you at? God, I thought you was going to do that. Like we're looking outside. We're looking for people to answer questions. We're looking for a situation to, just turn around and become what we want it to be because we think God is outside. But the asking is within and God is within. So I will always tell people ask within And if you ask for what you really need and want, then watch the answers and watch God reveal it. Because you can put yourself in whatever situation and you will not find anything. Because until you are going to take your time in your own private moments and ask within with your inner thoughts, with your inner vulnerabilities, and not tell everybody, because when you ask, you do not have to tell the world, you do not have to tell your friends. When you fast, you are not supposed to tell every daggone body, but you are supposed to have that as a one-on-one with God and let God show you. That is what we're supposed to tell people, but we don't know how to do that. We've never been taught that we're supposed to ask over and over about the things of life so that we can see the true God of within us shine in our life and let the life be seen that just we know is God, and no other person can take it away because we've experienced what God created within us and we saw it manifest, because that's the way it's supposed to be. Jesus came here to show us many things that we have lost and we do not truly understand. The kingdom of heaven is at hand means a lot. It means a whole lot, but we don't know. So I feel like we're just not being taught the right thing. And I think that we have, an understanding because of, I will say, technology. I will say because we are advancing as in technology and the things of being able to communicate more and to be able to have a lot more revealed to us. Like there's so much that is being uncovered that was hidden. We are going to find out a lot of great things that my parents and their parents would have never known. It's going to be so much that, will change our minds. And we as people are going to change because we can't be the same. We have to gradually grow and become whatever this world is going to take us, because guess what? That's what God said so. Everybody think we some great people, we in control. We ain't nothing. Go have a seat. Okay, I'm sorry.
Say, go have a seat, huh?
Go have a seat.
Listen, there's a lot going on in the world. A lot.
Yes.
You know, I say one of my brothers. He had said good evening. Let me see. The Harris family values.
Hey
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah. He hit on some good topics the other day too, man.
Yeah.
It's so much going on, and you know what? And he's right though. I see it because I see him, say what's up to us. He had talked about uh with his Mitchell, the pastor Mitchell,
Mhm.
giving up $50,000. He man, he had some good points, and that's true. And I'm not even going to get into that, but it's that's what's happening to the church, and it's so much going on in the world, and some people are really lost because they have their own agenda, not the agenda that God has set forward for them. You know what I'm saying? And once you get to fame changes a lot. They have guidelines you have to do, you got to go, you have to abide by, and sometimes it goes against your morals, it goes against your standards. And I think that's what plays a big part in it. Are you willing to say, you know what, this is against what I stand for, this is against what God has intended for me to do? Yes, you talk about God, but let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a stack. Is that you have to still have the same guidelines that God intended for you. And in that journey, you can't allow money and fame to change that. And I think a lot of people that's big, I'm serious. There are a few, and I'm being honest, there are a few that are straight and narrow. You know what I mean? That's dealing with the church. It's not a lot because, like I said, all the stuff that comes with it, the flashy lights, the musicians, all that stuff, all that it costs. And you think about it, and he said something that was so like it was real interesting. They put all this money into things like that, but they don't put the money into taking care of the homeless,
Mhm.
the needy. I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping it
Yeah,
real,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's true. And I
Mhm.
think when people look like myself, you, him, when you look at it, it's hard. I mean, we got the knowledge. We still studying. We still showing ourselves, studying to show ourselves approved. But at the end of the day, that's begins to be draining because you once you start to know the truth and you see beyond just the flesh and you see the spiritual, man, then it's like, oh man, where do you really go? You can't go to that place. You have to find a real the a genuine place so you can be able to learn and educate yourself on the things that's true, not the things that man says, the things that God has given you and revealed to you, and then you'll be able to share with others. And that's why, these platforms that we do have, that's what you want to do. You want to have a platform like this that you're going to educate. It don't got nothing to do about my opinion. It's about, look, I always say this. It's about encouraging, uplifting, inspiring somebody to change their perspective in a positive light, not a negative. That's why I don't do negative, because guess what? The negative right now, the negative energy is winning. If you look at it, if you talk about something that's negative, if you're talking about sex, you talk about how you bang somebody, yo, they like this. They engage. But when you talk about God and you talk about having a relationship with God, there are certain places where you can go and you can see it and it's growing, it's flourishing. But those are the people that want it and still trying to do it and everything. But what about the people that don't have it? That don't want it? We always say, spirit led, but guess what? When Jesus came on the earth, he didn't just go to those people that were already saved. He went to the sinners. He went to them, and he went to the places that he started speaking. And because that's what he came for. He didn't come for the man who already believed in him. He came for the sinners. He came for them. And so sometimes you have to be in those places, and your conversation, it's not you just being in that place, but your conversation has to be there. And when your conversation is, but guess what? They got ears. They can hear.
Yeah.
And so because they got ears, they can listen. Whatever they going through, whatever they into entertainment, guess what? They still got ears. They still got ears. They still can hear. And so you have to speak in this profound voice, and it's so catchy, just like music. It's catchy. You hear a rhythm and you hear a beat, and you're like, oh, I like that. You're not even really listening to the words. You just listen to the beat. But then when you sit yourself down, you calm down and you stop listening to the beats and you start listening to the words, then it start resonating with you. Then you like, wait a minute, hold on. Is this person talking to me? I think he's talking to me. And then they want to be engaged. I tell you that all the time, Lady T. You be like, oh, you can't run. No, trust me. I know already. Some people, when I'm talking, I'm mindful, because guess what? I look on the corner of my eye and I see them looking. And now I gotta be like, let me pull back. Let me watch what I say, because I know they want me to say the wrong thing. And so I'm always mindful of the things I say and how I say it. And then if I say something wrong and somebody bring it to my attention, and I'm like, yo, well, I gotta go. I gotta go check it. I gotta go apologize or you know try to fix it if I can, if it's fixable. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing I always try to do. Not to be perfect, just I just don't want nobody feeling bad or negative about how I do things. Or if not just me, just you or anybody. It's all about just your heart. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about, I'm in the classroom. I'm in the classroom. I'm always trying to learn. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in the classroom too.
No,
I'm
I
in
know,
the
I know.
coffin and the classroom.
No, you ain't in the coffin. Stop. I rebuke
Hey.
that there. You ain't in the coffin. You ain't in no
Yeah,
coffin.
I
Don't
already
do,
told
listen,
you.
don't do that to me. You ain't in no
Okay.
coffin. I don't even want to think about it. But no,
All
look,
right.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, I'm not saying I'm dying. I don't know what
I
my
know.
death is going to be, but I'm going to say I'm going to let some things go. I'm going to learn. So
Yeah,
I see it
okay. Yeah,
differently.
you drop them in
But
there.
look,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
look, I want to say about the church. It's unfortunate that churches have become mega churches and we don't see them become there are many churches out there that help the communities. I know that is real, but we do want to see, I think we would probably want to see churches be more humble and then giving more to our communities. Like we would see their growth in all the giving that they do for the communities around them. Right? Is that what you're saying? Like that? I mean, it's just, we haven't seen that a lot, but but I think, everything is, this whole life is going to go through a transition. It's all about been greed. It's all been about power and all those archetype type of structures in our life are dying, and they know they're dying, and it is their time to, dwindle away. But of course, chaos has to come before it really ends. So we're just watching it, and we're all involved in it. So,
Of course,
but
chaos, it definitely got to happen. You know what I
it
mean?
does, because order only comes when there's chaos. Chaos and order are hand in hand, yin and yang. You always will have positive and negative. You will always have duality. You will always have polarity. Polarity. There we go. I got it out. There's always going to be that left, right. And that's the thing. We just need to balance it. We need to have a way of knowing how to balance our own life. And when we know how to balance our own life, then we're going to be able to balance the lives of those around us. And we're going to have better relationships, and we're going to do better as people. This is our ascension to becoming better people. But I think what life is right now is just us, going through our transition and rebirth. We are dying in a lot of ways. We are letting go of a lot of things, and then we are also gradually increasing in something that is not us but a spirit. The spirit is being poured out on everybody. This is the time. We are at that time in life. And I'm excited, actually. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, and I'm walking through it. So,
Yeah, you know,
that's all I could do.
I tell you, in this life, as I continues to grow, I've made a choice, just to be, just positive, just being around positive people, people that's going to inspire me to do better, be better,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and just love on people, the ones that want to be loved on, and in that journey that I'm doing right now, it's just like, and I gotta tell you, because you wasn't here yesterday, so I gotta make I don't know if you was watching yesterday because I know you was
I
sick.
haven't watched it.
Okay, so
Okay, I will.
no, but you watch it. I want to tell you this because this is how I get mines out. I tell people I'm honest and transparent constantly. I always say that. So I'm gonna say his name because you know this person, and we talked
Oh,
about this
you
person.
gonna say names?
Yes, I'm gonna say his name because he related to us. So me and Wayne and Lamont, which is my cousin and my brother, we out for lunch. Went to a funeral to one of the guys we grew up with, and so we was talking, and I told him, I said, "Yo, what's up, bro?" I said, I miss you, man." So he thought I was like joking and whatever, and so we started conversating and whatever. And so, one thing he said to me, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. It bothered me to the fact that what he said, it kind of like not hurt me, but just to know all these years that in my growth and me learning, I never invited him to my house. He always, and I mind you, you know me. I'm a type of person. I'm always coming through. I'm all not for a handout, not just I want to spend time with you. So I always went to his house. He'd be like, "Yo, come over, cook for me the whole nine," and we talk Bible study together and that whole nine and everything, right? Yo, he's like, "Dog, you ain't never asked me to come to your house," and I was like,
Mm, mm.
"So,
It
so
stung.
did it?" Oh
Mhm.
man, it stung. I mean, and I like the reason why it stung so much because it's like, yo, I really have to be mindful of the things that I do and be more intentional to show like I'm who I am. I say I love, I'm a love, and that yo, it stung like crazy because we we grew up together, first cousins, but when we had our own family. I done seen all his kids, both his kids grow up. I seen them babies and to now, you know what I'm saying? And so I always seen them and been there like, yo, what's up? And talking to them. And now it's like, dang, that's crazy. And I think about it all the time. So that's what I'm telling you, like, nah. So
Well, that's
let
good.
I'm gonna let
I'm
it
actually
cool.
happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit. So because I don't want him to think it's a game. It's fake. It's real. It's genuine.
Yeah, I
You know what
know.
I'm saying? And I share that with you guys because guess what? That's what you gotta understand. Like you, and that's why I say classroom. because you have to learn. Like when things like that happen, you got to look at it and say, look, I'm learning from that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I'm gonna learn from that, and I'm gonna be more aware of how I do it because I got a relationship with a lot of my cousins. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And man, now I gotta be like, yo, did I ask them to come to my house?
Mhm.
Like you and Candy, y'all came to my house. Y'all ain't actually come upstairs, but now I gotta be
Yeah.
like, oh, but I gotta set something up because at the end of the day, it's this my sanctuary, this my home, and I want you guys to come into it. And same thing with him. It's like, yo, this my place. This
Right.
is where I'm the king at. You know what I mean? Come on, take your shoes off, relax, and let me make you something to eat. And at the end of the day, it may take some time, but I really am like that. Really like bother me. Because see,
I'm
that's
actually
huh?
I'm actually glad it happened. Yeah, that it need to happen. It's something that, our stings in life help us learn to grow
Yeah,
from whatever. Yeah,
definitely.
so that's a good thing.
No, I got some other friends, and they help me keep me whether they believe it or not, but they keep me molded and grounded. They don't do no scolding or nothing like that. It's just their character, their personality, and how they do things. And it's like, all right, let me check that out. Let me make sure. Make sure I'm doing the right thing. Cause I don't want to be the outcast. I'm always doing X, Y, and Z. And they like, yo, why you doing that? You know what I'm saying? And so they keep me, like I said, they keep me grounded. And
Good.
I always get them shout outs. You know what I'm saying? My double date buddies, man.
Yeah.
Always. You know what I'm saying? Judy and Norm.
Well, look,
Santa and
who's the
George.
name?
Santa and George,
Uh-huh.
and then Norm and Judy. Those my
Yeah.
those my those my couples. I got some more couples, but you know what I'm saying. I gotta get. Look, this the thing. My cousin showed me something, and so the other it's gonna be it's about let me see, 2 4. It's about 8. I haven't. So the other 4 I haven't really got with them yet.
Mhm.
And I want to get with them. Their wives, my wife. It takes time, and guess what? That was a I think it was a wake up call of how I do things because I want them to understand, like, yo, I'm intentional about loving and having that atmosphere, not negative, and it don't have to be just family. It could just be us. You know what I'm saying? It's hard because everybody the men they work, they got different schedules, but that's my thing. This year I want to have like 8 couples and we just sitting there having dinner, and I'm serious. I'm speaking that in existence. It's going to
Yeah.
happen. There's
Yeah.
going to be like 8 of us, and all of us we going to grow into good friendship, and that friendship we gonna travel. You don't see that often. And I know God
Mhm.
already know my heart, and so He look those people that I just called out is 4 more, right? God had put them in my life for a reason, and not just for a spiritual enlightenment, not just for a relationship with just having people of God, but also just being a human and just being loving one another, genuine loyalty. You already know I'm big on loyalty. So it's just that has to come gradually. It's not something that comes overnight. You got to get to know a person. They got to know the ins and the outs of that individual or myself and my
Right.
wife.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you wanted to say it. Go ahead. What you want to say?
Oh, yeah, I was listening to you earlier and I'm like, oh, listen to him. He growing up. Oh, yeah. I just had a moment listening to you earlier and I was like, listen to him. Like, it's clicking. It's starting to click. Like, that's how I see it.
I mean,
Like, because
yeah,
even listening to you talk, I mean, I can't remember what it was, but you said something. It was totally different than what you said in the past. And I wish I could remember. I'm gonna figure that out and I'll tell you about it. But yeah, it was like, oh, listen to him. He's growing up. It was, it's good to see that. And I think it's because you are around so many different people, the couples that you mentioned, the things that you are, paying attention to with other people, especially. So it's a good thing. I think that's all of us have to have a relationship with everybody, different people, even the ones we don't like that much. I always say it's good to have a relationship with people that, that push your buttons, so, or get on your nerves, because you are supposed to be in that place to have some discipline and whatever the issue is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm around that a lot, just because I'm sitting up here trying to. I feel like I'm in boot camp all the time. So
Hey, LAT, hold on, I'm about to tell you something. What you just said, that's why I'm laughing. What you just said. Look,
what?
let me tell you something. I was at work today, right? I'm sorry, this is crazy. And it's just, that's what I said. I'm so intentional about what I do and how I do it, right? So I was sitting in the back, and I was looking at my phone, and something came on, right? And so a guy was sitting next, he was like sitting across from me, and it was on TikTok, right? And so the lady said, I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's gonna be raw now. Look, listen what it said. She said, "Oh yeah, I just let my sister boyfriend just come inside of me." I The dude said, "D, what you looking at?" I said, "Bro, it's on TikTok. I wasn't looking at this." But when it said it, right, he was like, "Yo, D, I know you're not watching stuff like this." I said, "Bro,
Yeah.
no. It just came up on
Yeah.
the thing. Like, you go scroll
Yep.
up, and
Hmm.
so I was listening. I was looking at like their gestures, and then it came up, and she said that. Boy, he was like, D, what you look?" I said, "Bro, I ain't looking at this bull crap." So I said, it just came on TikTok. But look, I tell you, when I if I do something out of the way at work,
They calling you out.
they calling me out. They getting the belt out. And I'm like, listen, bro, no, I'm not watching that. I said, look, I was just scrolling up. I had to show him the whole nine. Like, look, see, okay, I ain't watching this, bro. Because I tell you, he'll go back and he'd be like, yo, Dennis was back there watching some explicit stuff. I was like, yo, no,
Yeah.
I was not, buddy. But yeah, but oh man, that's why I'm always like, not, and it's not even walking on eggshells. Just be like, let me just watch what I do, boy, because I tell you, man, they be
You
ready
be
to,
watching. You were like this.
yeah, it's like, oh, what you doing? I said, no, I ain't, buddy. Sorry, you got the
Oh
wrong
god.
person. Nah, look,
Uh,
man, I'm telling you, I love it though. But for me, everybody's different. For
yeah.
me, it keeps me in line. It keeps me like real rooted. Like if you got to be mindful. Like don't do that because if you do it, oh, what's coming with it? Embarrassment. Like and I don't know about you, D. I know you probably don't care. Some people say I don't care what nobody think, but me, when it comes down to my faith, I don't want to hear me being a hypocrite.
Mm.
Seriously, I,
Yeah.
because guess what? What happens is I understand that some people are not going to see the greatness in me. They're not going to see the love that I have. So I get that part. But it's like when somebody say you a hypocrite, and it's like, okay, I'm a hypocrite because of what? Like, let me know why you feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Why you feel like that way? Why would why would you say that? Like, what am I doing? Aren't I being the genuine guy, the loving guy, and you still? And it depends on who it says it. Who says it though? That's what I mean. It depends on who say it. Because everybody don't have that weight.
Right.
Some people don't. Their opinions don't. They have no value. So I'll be like, I ain't listening to you. Who is you? You ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Um. But yeah, I get what you're saying. But that's why you know, I will say I do the right and the wrong. You ain't gonna call me a hypocrite because I'm gonna be like, yeah, I told you I was gonna do it. Don't sit up here and look at me to be holy and holier than thou and doing everything on the straight and narrow. I'm not perfect. Don't look at me. So that's my attitude. So I do not care. I have never placed value in other people's opinion of me. So that is why I've done my life the way I've done it. And that's why they talk about me and say what they say because scandalous. It's there. A yeah, I live it and I'm okay with it. I'm free from that. Don't, sit up here and think that's going to stop me, but I'm going to still be who I am because there's no value in what other people think. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. So
No.
yeah, I hear you. Hypocrite is what they will try to say. Of course, everybody, because we all think that we, should be judging everybody and sit up here and look at us and be looking at each other and be like, "Oh, look what you did. You did that. Oh, you're not supposed to do that. Look at you. You did wrong. I'm gonna tell on you." That's what we do.
Yeah.
Hmm. I know.
That, but you're right. That's
That's
what
what
people
makes
do.
life so great, right? It makes it so interesting. This is entertainment. We all entertaining each other, laughing and crying and snotting and just talking about each other, stabbing each other in the back, killing one another, loving each other, having babies, doing the life.
Well, next week we got our homegirl coming back next
Oh
week.
yeah?
Wednesday. Let me see the calendar. Yeah, Wednesday. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, you have to tell me.
Melissa B.
Melissa B coming back. What?
I'm trying to.
This is a great conversation.
Oh man, was
You
that
already
that?
got the topic?
Yeah. Let me see. Let me make sure I do.
Oh, you're actually gonna say it?
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just because if you got no, look, late team, you got something. 'Cause we about to get out of here. If you got something, you let me know.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna get my life together. I'm gonna get my mind right. So I'll be doing that.
no, I actually don't. So
Okay.
maybe you come up with something
Hmm.
interesting. Text it to me and let me know. Um, listen. Let me see. Yeah, bro.
Big bro, little bro.
You see it?
Hmm. One big bro.
Oh, all right. But yeah. So, it was a lovely week, and it was definitely we're glad to see you back and healthy, and so it was man great. And listen, so for the ones who do come by on a daily basis, listen, we will be doing something in the summertime, guys, live in person, whether in May or June. Listen, we'll be coming to you, depending on where Lady T want to do it at first. We will be doing, yeah. I'm gonna pull you on that. Because
Okay.
I don't want to just be like, oh, we doing this. I want you to be engaged with it. So
Hmm.
depending on what she decides that we do it at, guys, but we definitely would doing a live sit in with a guest in a location of her choosing. And it's going to be different, a different atmosphere. It's gonna be different, like I know it. So that's what's coming up in the future. I appreciate everybody supporting. Always hitting the like button, the subscribe button. It's definitely gonna be different, and definitely we're going to be growing. Um, it's truly about inspiring and encouraging people, but having a conversation where we can talk spiritually, naturally. Sometimes some people don't understand that you can't think spiritually and bring natural in the same place because you won't understand the concept of the things because natural is natural, spiritual is spiritual. They don't coincide with one another. And so what we try to do, we bring an atmosphere of transparency and vulnerability. But we understand you have opinion, we have an opinion, and everybody's opinion is respected. There's no one here on the stage better than the next person. That's not what we put out in the atmosphere. We don't intend to do that. We definitely want your heart to be open to receive what it is that you need to receive from us, as well as us just being the vessel that God is using. And so that's basically all it is. God is using us to help people to navigate in whatever issue or situation they're going through or they've been through, just having a conversation about it, how they endure, how it can help and impact somebody else's life. Because some people are going through the same thing that you've been through that you don't even understand that how you how they got there, and you can be the person that can help them through that situation, through that trauma, through the hurt, through the pain. in relationships, in a marriage. And if you've been in a marriage before and it didn't work out, and now you got remarried, how did you navigate? How did you come to that point where you wanted to get married again versus you not married and you don't have a desire to be married again? How do you get to the point where you know what? Marriage is a good place. It's not a bad place. How do you get to that point? How do you have better relationships? How do you encourage people to have better relationships and conversations that can be therapeutic for you and the individual that you're talking to or your family? Having family issues is something that we go through as well. But being able to have a circle that's going to help you navigate that. And that's what we bring. We bring that type of atmosphere. And I want people to be encouraged and continues on loving on people that want to be loved and you showing love. And that is it for us to this week. And we will see you next week. And by the way, I want to get you guys prepared. After next week, we will be going on a break, about 2 weeks break. And then we'll be going on another like 1 week break. So I want to inform you guys. So you probably won't see us after next week. We won't see us for a while because we'll be going on a break. We're going on a little vacation. And so, our guys, I want to let you guys know that. So, just in case you're looking for Chef Dennis and Lady T, we will be on vacation on next week. And I appreciate everybody. I love the support and continues to share and invite people on over to sometimes have a conversation. I love you guys, and we'll talk to you later. Peace. All right.